Welcome back to Gals Night. I'm Maggie Galelli.
And I'm Juliana Galelli.
And today we're talking all things BTS. Back to school. I knew you were going to do that. We didn't even plan that. Okay, so for our drink today, we're on drink number 2 because our first drink flopped. We will need to revisit, return to it. We tried the viral blueberry syrup to put into coffee, and I think we just flopped. We used maple syrup instead. It turned out too liquidy. It wasn't syrupy, wasn't giving the give that we needed it to give.
Wasn't giving the give.
And so Jewel just said, you know what? I bought the Chobani. There's a mosquito. I bought the Chobani
Outdoors.
What is it? Cookie
Chobani
dough.
cookie dough creamer.
And I was just talking to Dom, our friend, and she posted on her story. I was like, I want to try that so bad, and Jewel happened to have it. So
I found it while buying my blueberries. Okay, so it's fine.
It worked out.
And we've never had it before, so we're gonna give you a raw review. I mixed it with some cold brew. It's got to be better than the blueberry coffee. So, cheers.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Let's try it.
It smells like a cookie. Oh my God, I love it.
That's really good.
Oh my God, this tastes identical to Dunkin' when I was in college. Oh my God, this reminds me of back to school. When I was in college, Dunkin' had a cookie, might have been cookie dough.
I think you're
flavor.
right. Mm-hmm.
And it tastes identical to that.
It's
I haven't tasted that taste since like 2015.
I was asking Mags, we were looking at the bottle, and I was like, what really is in the Chobani creamer? Because you know how like all the ingredients can be like...
I love this.
It's really good. I give it like an 8 out of 10. It's really fab. I love cookie dough ice cream, cookie dough everything. But yeah, Chobani's like cleaner than some creamers I've seen. It does have some cane sugar and some quote-unquote natural flavor, whatever that means.
We're in the evening right now and drinking coffee, Gals Night, but I was like, Jewel, I'm just going to probably have a little sip, but now I want to like chug this.
It's
I'm going to
really
be up all night.
This is like our third coffee of the day.
Does coffee affect you in the night?
Yeah. And I don't have it that much, so it definitely
too.
does. So I'm going to be wired and up for work tomorrow.
It's kind of like a good little dessert. I always wondered why people would get coffee after dinner.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a good thing to like, okay,
Well,
I created.
Maybe with some decaf?
Yeah. I wish they sold decaf in a bottle. I can never find it anywhere.
Really?
Like you use the stock.
Yeah.
I love the taste of coffee. So like I need 1 cup in the morning, full calf. And then I'm always looking for a little something extra. Like I want to taste it. So I usually will have decaf or something. But
There.
they don't make it in the bottle.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Never thought about
Dunkin'
that.
has iced decaf. Starbucks does not. Just so y'all know. If you were wondering.
Good to know.
What was I going to say? Oh, I created something. It's called dessert. And I've been having like sweet things for dinner.
Yum.
And then you don't have dessert. So if you're the type that wants like a little sweet something after dessert, have dessert for dinner. For example, like pancakes. Like I made protein pancakes for dinner. Like flop breakfast.
I've definitely made pancakes
don't have the
for
sweet
dinner
thing.
before.
I have this savory thing for breakfast, like eggs and sausage and vegetables and all that. And then for dinner, I'll have like me and Mario had like oatmeal.
Okay.
With like bananas.
Why
And then
not?
I had
Who
like
says that oatmeal's only a breakfast food?
dessert. And then I was like, I'm not grabbing for like a little sweet treat. Like I'm like, I'm fulfilled.
You're fulfilled. Good stuff.
So if you really
I'll have to
feel
try that.
like you want something sweet real bad, have dessert. Make yourself some like protein pancakes. You can make it healthy too. Like I make like acai bowls in my Ninja Creamy or like whatever. A yogurt bowl with protein. Like who says you have to have that for breakfast? Have veggies for breakfast and dessert.
I like that.
Okay, anyways, sorry.
I like that. Anyways, this coffee's 10 out of 10. But we are going to get right into it. So, back to school. Although I'm not really going back to school. Mags is kind of going back to school with being a teacher. We kind of wanted to talk about like transitioning from summer to fall, like what's the best way to do that. And I think it really comes down to just like romanticizing it all, like romanticizing this new season, romanticizing being on a schedule. You were saying earlier, like it's easier, like you're ready to be back on like your schedule.
Yes, that is one
routine.
thing I am romanticizing about summer ending, because it's obviously, it's hard for people who go back to school or work in a school, because summer is a lot of free time and a lot of fun, but it's unstructured. And I was telling Jewel earlier, we were just having this conversation. We were just having this conversation about it, and I feel really guilty when I don't, you know, have a lot going on, or like I struggle to fill my day, and I work better. Honestly, I work a lot better in the chaos, like, you know what I mean? And
that's so true.
I need a routine, like wake up, go to work, go to the gym, you know, whatever it is. I'm craving that. I thrive in that kind of environment.
That.
So
yeah, that's really true. I was saying too, like, it's easier to have like a routine in the fall versus in the summer, because I feel like it's just, for whatever reason, my work schedule doesn't change, but I feel like there's less going on in the fall. You can focus more on yourself. There's less like distraction. I love summer and all, but like also your off days, you kind of feel guilty, like you were saying, like you can't in the summertime be like, oh, I just want to rest. I mean, you can, but then you'd feel guilty, like the weather is so nice. Like I feel like I need to be out and about doing something on my off days, when you can really
just... The guilt is so real when the sun is shining and you're not.
Right.
If you're resting, you know what I mean? It's like you feel like you need to fill your day with thing after thing after thing. And I don't feel that way in the during the school year, because my day is already filled. So I don't have to fill it myself. And my sister and I were having the conversation. It was really interesting that she brought it up and said, like, if you won the lottery, would you work? And my immediate reaction was no. Like, no, I'll go to hot Pilates, and then I'll go to the beach, and then I'll go
like,
for a
I'll
walk.
find a way.
I'll go to the farmer's market. I'll watch Love Island. I'll whatever. I'll find ways to fill my day. And then she said, there's no way I can't work. Because I think she experienced that feeling, too, of being on her off day and feeling like, or like having like time off and feeling like you don't really not have a purpose, but just
100%.
Feeling a little like empty, like, okay, what do I do with myself? And so Joel and I were both saying too, we would probably, like, you would be per diem.
Yes, I would love to be a per diem princess. I'd like to work, but like, of course, like not full time, and just come and go as you want. Like,
I kind of changed my answer, because now, like, this summer I worked at the spin studio, but you know, that was like quicker shifts. And then when they were done and everyone else was working, I felt like a little unfulfilled, you know? And, you know, there's so many fulfilling parts of my job that I love. So I'd probably be a substitute teacher or something, like something to fill my time a little bit. But I think it's just an interesting
thing.
Like, some people can, my sister told me, she was like, I think you're pretty good at like filling your day, which I am in a way. I could find stuff to do. And my mom always says the difference between my mom and my dad is my mom is okay relaxing. She has no guilt. She was like, I can relax all day, no guilt. But my dad is like me. Like, I feel like I got that from him. Like, he's kind of like, okay, I sat here all day. I'm a loser. I need to get up. You know what I mean? Like, real, like, get like mad about it. Like, I do too. Like, I'm just like, oh, why'd I waste this whole day? You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
I need to, you know, stop doing that.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. So
craving that structure, of 100%. The fall.
That's what comes with the fall, which is nice.
And that's one thing to romanticize about the weather changing, because I love the sunshine, I love the summer, I love the beach. You do too, right? And it definitely feels a little less guilty when the sun's down earlier and it's chillier outside, and you're, you know, and you're not outside as much. Like, you know, it makes you feel better about like working and stuff and being indoors. But I bet sometimes you're at the hospital during the summer and you're like,
right,
looking
like,
through the glass, like, I should be at the beach right now. So in the fall, that's going to get better.
Totally.
You're gonna be like
So when you're at work and it's like a rainy day or whatever, you're like, oh, I don't feel bad, it's not a beach day. Like, I almost like hope sometimes on my days off that it's going to be like raining or something, so I don't have to like have the temptation of, oh my gosh, I should go to the beach or go to the lay by my pool or something. Sometimes, like, even just like being in the sun, it takes a lot out of you, like the heat and everything. So tanning's a full-time job.
It is. You're really good at it. So it is. That part's hard, but yes, romanticize everything. That is just mine and Jules' favorite thing to say right
Yeah,
now.
no,
It's our
seriously.
biggest piece of advice for life is because it just makes everything better. Go to the store, go get yourself everything new supplies, new backpack, new lunchbox,
Do it all.
new highlighters, new whatever.
You have to romanticize it or else you're going to be like down about it. Like think of it as a good thing, a new chapter, a new year ahead, whether it's high school or college or grad school, whatever it is. Like it's a good change and it should be exciting in a way. And you're going to look back. We were having this conversation today as well. And you're going to be like this. You're going to look back and be like, wow, like when I was in school and all, like that was actually like a really good time. And like being 2 years removed, I do miss it.
We talk about
a
this
bunch.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be nostalgic for this at one point. I know. Like I know sometimes like you're in high school right now and you're like, this stinks. I have to go to school.
Yeah.
But
like I have to go to class to get this stupid
you're
degree.
so young. Really just be present in being as young as you are and where you are right now, this season of life. Every season of life brings something beautiful with it. So try to see those things and like put that lens on it of like, okay, what can I look for that's going well for me right now, or like in this time of life, like what is good about it, you know?
Right.
In high school, what's good about it, you know, you don't realize until you get somewhere else what you had. So for example, in high school, it's a lot easier than you think. We've talked about this with jobs too. Like I would go to my summer job when I was a teenager and I worked 4-hour shifts and I was like, oh my God, or like a 5-hour shift, or a double was 8 hours, which is just a regular old work day. And I would complain. Like you just don't even know till you get to the next stage of life. And like right now even I say I'm tired. My sister who has 2 young kids is probably like, you don't even know tired.
Right.
So like
right.
every season of life has its ups and downs. Try to focus on the ups. You're young.
Yeah, I like that.
Life is probably, you know, easier right now and fun, and you have more energy, and
whatever chapter you're in, just be present and just try to soak it all in, take it all in, and be excited. I think one of the best parts about like going back to school or like anything like that is like getting new stuff, like to romanticize it, like going shopping. I remember when we were younger.
Supplies. Yes.
Like remember you'd get sent like a physical list of all the supplies you needed.
Do I remember? I have to type them up.
Oh my God, you make them.
That's
so crazy to be on the other side of it.
Yes.
That was like one of my favorite memories as a kid, like going to Staples and getting like crossing everything off the list and getting a new pencil case. Like being younger and like a new backpack and whatever it would be.
Yeah, here's an inside secret is that the grade level team comes up with what supplies they think the kids need. So yeah, we write it, we type it out, we send it home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
So super neat. Yeah, that's
neat.
fun. I love school supplies. I mean, I'm a teacher, so there's nothing like all the school supplies. Post-it notes, paper clips, pens. What's your favorite kind of pen? It's a random question.
I don't know. I'd have to think about this. Literally just like any kind of good like gel pen.
Yeah, I love the Sharpie gel. I like the white ones. I don't know why. I just think it's cute. And then Uniball has these pens that are like all different colors that I always get for grading and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, nothing like a good old pen.
Yeah.
What backpacks or like bags are in right now? You think for like someone who's going back to school or like even teaching?
Now, I don't know. I think any like Free People bag is in. That's just because I have one and I like it. But
oh my God,
talking
I love
about
it.
Like
I love my puffer.
More of
the
like
puffer
a purse or a tote. Yes.
Yeah.
Like a long
I know we can never, and we are so stuck on what color to get. Like, okay, part of me, I was in between like the brown and the pink, but I'm like, should I just get something more practical? But it is an expensive tote bag, so I don't know. It's a big purchase, so we haven't really sent it yet. But the tan's cute. That's the one that you wanted. I think those are in style and cute. Yeah.
Any kind of tote. I feel like totes are really big right now.
I know. The mosquitoes.
The bugs are coming to eat us. We're outside. But, yeah, I think any kind of tote bag. I feel like when I was in college, like my first year, the North Face backpacks were really big. And then I moved to like a tote bag, just like one from like Urban or something. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
any tote.
Any kind of tote, I think.
They're
is the way to
really,
go.
they're back in. Like, trends always come back around.
Yeah,
Like, I was
full
just
circle.
seeing on TikTok, like, these girls that were going into their freshman year of high school were saying, all the Billabong backpacks are so cute. And I was like, oh my gosh, I had one of them when I was a freshman in high school. So, yeah, all the trends come back again.
Come back.
Hang on to your bags, guys.
Yes.
The
best real lunch boxes are the Calpac lunch boxes.
Yes.
In high school, we all fell victim to using the Lululemon shopping bags as our lunch boxes. Like, that was like a status thing for me in school. It's like, if you don't have a reusable Lulu small bag for your lunchbox, then kick rocks.
So all the girls were carrying those.
Yeah, that didn't happen to you in high school?
No, like, Lululemon came in when I was in college.
Really?
Like, Lululemon was more popular when I was in college. So, like, I want to say I don't know. Wait, what year are you thinking? Like 2018,
even before, like
2017. Yeah,
16,
I was in
18.
college at that point.
Yeah.
So I didn't get my first pair of Lululemons until I was in college. So.
Yeah, I don't think I had any in high school.
So I didn't own anything.
But it was like the cool lunchbox to have.
Yeah,
like,
so we didn't have that in high school, and like college is a little less cliquey that way of like what's cool and what's not.
That's a good part about it.
So like, but I definitely used I thought I was cool using it as like a gym bag, or like just letting people know that I owned something from Lululemon. Like, why?
Yeah, right, totally.
So silly.
Yeah, gym bag was a good one too.
Yeah, my spin bag. I used that as my spin bag forever. Like, even not that long ago. They are good reusable bags, but anyways.
What are your other favorite like supplies for school? I really like the I ask you and then answer.
What are your
talking
favorite?
about pens and stuff? I like those highlighters that I told you about.
Yes, they're great.
Highland Zebra. I don't know what they're called.
They're really good. If you look them up on Amazon,
yeah,
like Zebra, they're so good. They have the cutest really colors. Yes, like, I was more of a laptop girly. I was fortunate enough to be gifted like a MacBook when I went into college, and I've used it every day since then. And I'm a Google girl, so I would set up all my stuff on Google. I would make it look cute. You know what I mean? I would make like I would make to-do lists on there. I would make a table and color coordinate it for like my schedule. That was just my vibe. And then I would have a planner too that I would write in. Like, a planner is always a really fun one to buy. Like, go to Staples and get like Blue Sky or whatever. That's really fun. How about you? Were you like a note taker or a tech girl?
I did have a Mac because you obviously need some sort of technology, some sort of device to get you through with like everything being online. But when I like first started out school, I would actually like print out the PowerPoints and like write on them. Like, I just needed to like physically like write, and then when studying I needed to like physically rewrite everything. So that's like just like what worked for me. You're gonna need to like find whatever study habit like works for you, whatever sticks for you. But like personally for me, and like my like photographic memory, like I could remember like seeing myself write it down, and that's the best way for me to learn. But then I got like an older generation, like used iPad off of like Facebook for like my later years of school, and then I would like download the PowerPoints on there, write on there.
Yeah,
write
that's
on,
cool.
Yeah. Good Notes is a really good app if you have like a tablet of some sort. And you can like share notes and stuff, add pictures. So I think that's like, it's just like whatever works for you in your brain. But yeah, that's kind of the vibe.
Yes.
I went for.
Yeah, you got to find what works for you.
Absolutely.
I feel like as far as advice goes for kids going into college or even like into their like high school year, like something that I wish I heard when I was younger is that you're going to find your niche, I guess. Like, I've said this before, that I felt like throughout my career as a student, it's kind of ironic saying this as a teacher, but I felt like I was just kind of like middle, I forget the saying, but like middle of the line, average student. Like, I wasn't failing, but I also wasn't being pulled for gifted and talented. I wasn't being, I wasn't the teacher's pet. I wasn't, all these things that like you see these students being labeled as like valedictorian, like gifted and talented, just exceptional students. And I didn't feel that way until you know, even through college, I think I took that with me from my younger years of school. And like, I went through college feeling like, oh, well, I'm just average student. Like, what am I even going to do? Like, you know what I mean? I'm not really like exceptional at anything, you know? And then like, I did find that I was really like, I feel like I'm exceptional at like getting through to kids and like interacting with kids. And then I found, you know, a career that, that I was needed in. Yeah, that suited me. And like, I felt like you are needed and you have something to offer the world no matter, I'm so sorry about these bugs. You have something to offer and you are needed. You just don't know it yet. And you will find that if you don't already know. I mean, some people are just good at school. Like they're just born to be a student. They're like someone like my sister who was born being able to write like an exceptional essay and you know, and it doesn't mean you're not smart if you're not wired that way. And it, dude, it doesn't mean you're not smart if you're not wired that way. There's all different types of intelligences and skills that you can.
We're getting attacked by bugs.
I know. I'm getting eaten alive out here. Yes, you're needed. You just don't know it yet, and you will find it. I really genuinely believe everyone's needed for something. You have a calling. What in the world? And stupidity doesn't exist. I mean, it does. It's just like my lazy debate.
A test.
It sounds so silly.
The lazy debate. Here we go.
The lazy debate is, I don't think laziness, I think most people who you think are lazy aren't actually lazy. There's something like underlying going on, maybe a mental health thing. Like for me, executive dysfunction happens. I have a hard time like prioritizing my tasks, or I used to. Like I've really had to unlearn that and help myself, but whatever. I feel like as far as like the same thing can be said for being stupid. Like, okay, you're not book smart. Okay, you're not getting pulled for gifted and talented. I mean, these are people, like whatever it is. I don't know. I mean, it's just hard. It's all relative. You are worth it. You know, you are good enough the way you are, and you have something to offer.
Yeah.
You have 100%. Something to offer the world.
And some people aren't good test takers, and like that doesn't really define how smart you are, like what grade you get on a test. Like some people just genuinely work themselves up, aren't the best test takers, aren't the best studiers. And I don't think any of like the school stuff really like defines you as a person and your ability to be successful. I don't think school, that's like another debate, like getting a degree and going to school like doesn't really like, in today's world I feel like sometimes you don't really need to go to school to be successful or to be smart or an entrepreneur or anything like that. So I think it's all relative, and some careers you do need to go to school.
And it's really cool now, like being a teacher. I think the big thing is you need to work around your students' strengths, right? And what they need and how they learn. So that's like the newer way that teachers are taught to teach. And I love that because I see strengths in all of my students and make them feel special, you know what I mean, in their own way. And I think that that's important. And I think that if a teacher hasn't done that for you, just know that like you are. It sounds corny, but you are. There's something within you that just hasn't come out yet, and you'll find your calling, and it will be all fine. You're gonna figure out what you want to do. It's okay. There's no perfect timing. There's no race. There's no competing. It's never too late. And yeah,
100%. And don't compare yourself to like your classmates or like anyone around you. Like I was saying, like if you walk out of a test and like someone's like saying like, oh, what did you put for this? What did you put? Like block it all out. Don't listen to what grade anyone else got. Like focus on yourself, your journey, because it looks completely different than everyone else around you. And I think, you know, everything, it's going to work out for you. Like everything will work out. Like you're not even going to think about that class or that test like 2 years from now. If you have to repeat a class, if you have to take an extra year, like that's all completely normal, and so many people and students go through it. Like everyone's at their own pace, like it doesn't matter. So if you have to take a summer class or repeat something, like you're not less than someone else in your class because you weren't successful the first time, then that doesn't matter. Like everything happens for a reason, and it's gonna end up being fine.
So. And 5 words for you: it will all get done. there are so many times I even procrastinated to the last second, and somehow, some way, it gets done.
Yes.
No matter what. I mean, don't procrastinate. Don't do that. But there were times where I have, and
Everyone does it.
It gets done, and you can do it. Just like jump over the obstacle, get through it. Everything gets done. Everything gets taken care of. These 4 years, whether it's high school, college, whatever journey you are about to embark on, it's going to go so fast. You're going to blink and it's going to be over. And you're going to be like, thank goodness I stuck with it. Thank goodness I got through it. It all got done somehow. I don't even know. I always say this about spin class too. Sometimes when I feel like when we're teaching up there, the adrenaline kicks in. Like I feel like I can do super sonic things when I'm up there teaching, you know what I mean?
100%.
And then you're like, whoa, after it's done, I feel like, yeah, like during college, like the adrenaline's just going to kick in. You're going to be able to bang out that paper and do a bunch of things that you never thought possible. And I just know a lot of people who wanted to quit and wanted to stop. And there was times where I was like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to do this.
100%.
And I'm so grateful I did. You can do it. You can absolutely do it. And you're not alone in that. Like 100%. Not everyone is killing it, getting like straight A's, and everyone's having these doubts and these struggles. Like even the people that you think are the smartest.
100%.
So just stick with it.
Stick
with it. You will be okay.
Yes, you will. Me and Mags are wearing
our
schools we went to, by the way, our colleges. So was Stockton like always your first choice?
Yeah, I only applied to Stockton. I decided, I kind of do know why, but I decided I wanted to commute to Stockton. So I lived at home, commuted to Stockton, and that was the only college I applied to. That was the only thing I wanted to do.
You know what you wanted.
Yeah, I was saying this before, though. I hear your experiences and my friends' experiences about going away to college, and sometimes I do have regrets. You know, not regrets, or I don't know, just like wondering.
What
life
would be like.
What it would have been, and I think
that's normal.
I had a lot of anxiety about going away. I'm not a huge driver, so I always was wondering, am I going to be able to, drive all the way to Rutgers, or, if I want to come home, my parents would have to come get me. It would be a pain. Or, am I going to be able to be away from my family all the time? Am I going to, I'm really close with my parents and my siblings and stuff. So I was just, I just was like, you know what, I'll just commute. Like I'll have both. And it's money. It's a money saver too, to commute. But sometimes I wonder, and I think my anxieties held me back a lot. But now I've learned, like growing up, like over the last few years, that I've put myself out there a little more, and I realize that I never regret it when I put myself out there. When I do something that scares me, the outcome is always so much greater, than
100%.
what I thought could have happened. And
right.
So sometimes I do wonder what would have happened and what alternate reality I would have lived in.
If you're watching.
Hi, Hucksters.
Okay, we have a special guest. He wants to put in his input.
Where'd you go to college?
What do you have to say?
Notre Dame.
Wow, no way, bro.
No way, bro.
That's sick. Well, yeah, I'm glad you asked. I went to, I actually ended up, I was telling Maggie the story that I wanted to go to Stockton, that I was on the same boat. I was in the same wavelength of, you know what, I just want to be close to home. I had a lot of friends going there. None of my siblings went away to school because, of course, Mario met Maggie at Stockton. But I ended up not getting into their nursing program. It was really competitive. There was only about 20 students they accepted. So I ended up applying to a few more schools that I was in between, like Widener and TCNJ and Rutgers, and I ended up going with Rutgers, but everything ended up working out, and it was totally out of my comfort zone. I was scared. It was close enough to home where I could still come home if need be, but it ended up working out, and I wouldn't trade it for for the world, and I'm glad I went there, and like all the people I met and all the experiences I had. So it all works out. And sometimes I do wonder, like, what would it have been like if I actually went away, like states away, or like to a bigger school. But
Yeah.
I feel like those thoughts are normal, and you know, everything ends up working out though. So wherever you end up and wherever you are now,
I think it was meant to be.
Yeah, everything is meant to be.
You know, you're always going to wonder. I bet some people wonder, like, what would have been like if I just lived at home? Or what would it, you know, like...
Right.
Or, you know, like, I don't know. There's perks to any way you do it. But
yeah, absolutely.
I don't regret... I like commuting. Like, if you're going to be a commuter, I loved it in so many ways, especially if you're close with your family.
Yeah.
Like, it was so nice.
It's nice.
With the, like, to have that.
100%.
You know, to still have that. And, you know,
100%. I don't think it makes your experience less in any way. Like, I think...
I just wonder the part about having roommate, like, that is, like, okay. Because, like, when I go on girls' trips with my friends and stuff, we're all getting ready. And I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Like, that is so funny.
It is a really fun part of it.
Yeah, like, you get ready together. You go to dinner. You know, you go out. You're always, like, you're waking up with your friends. Like, that's so fun.
Totally.
You're debriefing after your night out. You're going to get coffee. You always just, like, have someone to hang out with, someone to talk to.
Yes.
So, you know. And, of course, I live with my husband now, but he's just not one of the girly pops. So...
It's different. There's definitely nothing like living with your friends and, like, everyone being on the same schedule. And that's, like, one of the hardest
when you're
things.
young and, like, nobody has kids. Like, the responsibilities are,
You're all on the same wavelength.
Hard.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, the major responsibilities, like having to go to work full time or, like, having kids or all that, it's, like, that's crazy. That so... Yeah. So I do wonder what that's like.
Right. So if you are in school or living with roommates or whatever it may be, whatever year you were in, I'd say just soak it all in, because there's never going to be another time where you're all, like, living together and all your friends... Even if you don't live together, just like your school friends, you're all on the same kind of wavelength and schedule because you're all going to class, and then you all have off on the weekends and things like that. So just really soak it all in. But yeah, so I think we should talk about, like, how to really balance, like, work life and school life and social life and time for yourself in school.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I think really... Like you said, have an agenda, have a calendar, like block out times for studying and whatever you personally want to do and things like that, right?
Block out time for you, and know that, this is a little controversial, but know that you really don't owe anybody an explanation either. Because you are going through a lot. Like, you're in school, you might be working on top of school, you might be in extracurriculars, you might be, you know, and I think there's this idea that, oh, you're a kid, like, what could you have on your plate? Like, no, you have a lot on your plate. Don't let anyone make you feel like that. You have a lot on your plate. That's valid. And second of all, like, if people are giving you a hard time, because I just know that, like, you're in a university full of people with underdeveloped brains, and you're all just, like, going ham friendships and relationships, it's very sensitive feelings, like feelings hurt about, you know, like if you cancel plans or things like that. Obviously, you want to strike a balance with that. You don't want to be canceling all the time and, like, never show up for your friends. But you don't owe anybody, like, a super explanation if you want to just, like, rest one day, or, like, saying no is enough, saying I'm tired is enough, saying I'm going to rest today is enough, and
100%.
Block out time for you, take care of yourself, and yeah.
100%. I like that.
Your school comes first.
Yep. Don't wait till the last minute. Try and chip away at assignments if you have a due date. I know we've all been there. Just like 11:59 and it's like 11 and you're like, oh my God, I gotta finish just in time. My one roommate would literally do everything last minute, and it was so funny. She got it done every single time, but it was
that's
like
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It always gets done.
Yeah. But if you
Even on those nights where you're like, oh, this is due at 11:59 and it is 11. Just think, definitely chip away at it. I know you don't want to hear that, but that's the way you got to do it. You have to. So you're just saving yourself all that stress.
Yeah, 100%. plan it out, try and get it done as early as you can. Dedicate a day to studying, dedicate some social nights with your friends and things like that. And also, like, I would say to people still in school to just soak it all up, enjoy the chaos, enjoy the studying, because you kind of miss it. You do end up missing it.
I know that sounds bizarre, but
like,
it's true.
You do. Like, even like me and my roommate, like, going to a coffee shop and just like
his
huckleberries. But even just like going to a coffee shop and studying there and like romanticizing it. Again, it all comes down to just like making the best out of it, trying to enjoy it, trying to take it all in. And I would just say yes to obviously things that you want to go to, but try and say yes to a lot of things that maybe you don't feel like doing, or just like, you know, because you're going to wish that you went and you'll never regret going. And like in the moment, you're going to be like, oh, I really don't want to go to that event or that.
You're going to be tired, but
yeah. So, but definitely don't say no all the time and just try and put yourself out there, because there's going to be times where you're going to miss it. Yeah. So soak it all up.
Definitely got to drive that home of, do things that scare you.
Yes, 100%.
Because every time I ever have, it's always one of my favorite decisions that I've ever made.
Yes.
And
100%.
Yeah, don't let anxiety hold you back. Over. Don't let fears hold you back.
Yes.
Join the sorority, join the club.
100%.
Don't care what people think. Get involved. Make friends. Say hi. If you see someone like cool, like my friend Maddie, like I thought she was so cool when I saw her in class, and like I talked to her. You know what I mean? Like, go talk to the person. Like she ended up being, you know, bridesmaid in my wedding. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
because I started a conversation with her.
So true. Put yourself out there. Meet new people. Make connections and get involved. Go to that silly involvement fair and find whatever sticks for you and meet people, especially like if you do commute and things like that, you want to get involved.
Yes.
I met so many girls through my sorority who were like, I would just go up to them and be like handing out flyers in the campus center, like join, and then they'd be like, thank you for doing that. Like that was the best decision, was just to come out and meet people and talk to people, because I don't live here. I don't meet like a lot of people in class, like. And sometimes like going the extra mile helps. Yeah.
That's hard being a commuter. It is. Yeah. Because you kind of just go to class and go home. So I joined some things. It's kind of embarrassing, but I was in like the music side of it. So
but that's fun. That's what you like, you know?
Yeah. And so that was so fun. There was literally nothing like it. So I have no regrets in that regard. And I met a lot of people. And my friend, again, Maddie, was in that club with me, and we had so much fun. We had things to do after school too. We'd be like, oh, we have a practice tonight, or we have, you know, we have that going on, and like it, you know,
gives you like something.
And we had like a group of people that like all had a common
within a community.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's nice to see a familiar face on campus and things like that, and just to build those connections, and like you'll still know these people like way down the road, which is like the coolest part about it. And I think like I miss like the chaos. I miss the busy schedule. I miss always having events to go to. And in the moment I was like, oh my gosh, I have chapter, or I have to go to this fundraiser, or like even things like so like basic that are just like tasks in the moment. And you miss like kind of just like doing all those things.
I feel like that has been the theme of our conversations lately, is that just be present, like be here.
Yes.
Soak it all in, like you were saying, because you really are going to be nostalgic for this stuff. I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but one day you're going to be like, wow, that was so much better than I was giving it credit for, and that was such an awesome time. And like
you're going to miss like having those extracurriculars. I know it sounds weird, but it's like when you're done, it's almost like you kind of feel like lost. You don't have those things to go to, or those clubs and things. So I think that's why like working out and everything like that for us is like finding that community again. So
I know. I always say that. Like we need adult clubs. We need adult clubs.
Yeah.
I will join like a pickleball club. I would join like a bunch of stuff, because I miss it. And like at the time it was scary. I was like, this is embarrassing. Like this is, you know, weird, or like
silly, or,
you know, I feel like I'm feel awkward, like all these people, I don't know if I want to socialize, like whatever. But now I crave it. Like I crave the involvement, you know, I crave the hobbies, I crave learning new things, you know, and meeting new people. So it's You're going to lose that in adulthood, so
yes. It's really soak
join
it
as much
all
as you
up.
can so you don't have any regrets.
Yes, 100%. So now that we're both like post-grad, well, Mag's got her master's and she's taking like some classes right now to advance.
Yeah, like advancement course.
Yeah.
I mean, they're college credits, but it's
Yeah.
not for any like specific degree.
Right.
It's just like advancement courses in my field.
Yeah. But I don't think you should be like afraid of graduating, and it's bittersweet in the moment, and some people are like, oh, I'm so glad I'm done, and some people are like, I don't ever want to graduate. And I think you just have to come to like an in-between spot and be like, reflect and be thankful for everything you've gone through, but also like excited for this new chapter of life. And like post-grad life, I kind of feel like we're making it seem like it's not all that. It is really nice as well, like working and finding like a routine and having some money to spend on yourself. But
Yes.
I think it's just, like we said, being present in the moment, being...
I know, I literally was like, I called my parents and I was like, I have a comma in my bank account. Like, I was working at a taco shop for minimum wage and like whatever. So I was like, oh my God.
It's like when that first real paycheck
like, I have
hits
some
and
big
you're
girl
like,
money. There's a comma right there.
What was your first big girl purchase? Did you have like a first like specific big girl purchase?
No, not like... I think the biggest thing I've ever purchased was... I had to get a new MacBook when I started school because mine was like dying. So I think it's probably like the most expensive thing that I bought.
Yeah.
And I was able to buy it. You know what I mean? Well, I still lived at home
100%.
at the time. When you're post-grad too, you're still so young. You don't even realize it, but you're still so young. Like I was like 21, 22
now. Yeah.
at my parents' house.
Yeah.
Just like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh my God, I can buy it. My laptop broke. I can buy one all by myself. So, yeah.
I like that.
But that was probably the biggest thing I ever purchased. What about you?
My spin bike.
Oh my God, I bought that too.
And my car.
Oh, right.
But,
off topic, but like everyone always asks me like SoulCycle versus Peloton. Let's squash this right here. I prefer the SoulCycle because of the classes are more fun. I think if you're into rhythmic, if you're into more traditional spin, go with Peloton. Just saying.
Agreed, couldn't agree more. It's definitely more rhythmic, and Peloton's more traditional, and I've heard everyone that has a Peloton bike that comes to class or anything like that, they're like, Peloton is more, it's heavier, it's grittier.
Yes.
And like SoulCycle or anything.
There's a lot more
else.
pushes, like pushing your pace with like heavy resistance, and
which is good because it's if that's your type of spin, like that's your type of spin. But I think SoulCycle, if you've ever been to a SoulCycle class, it's literally that. It's really fun. 100%. Yep. So post-grad life is not as scary as it. We're talking about big girl purchases, but
which you can do if you make it through school.
Yes.
Stay in school.
Stay in school, kids. Stay in school.
Stay in school.
But yeah, it's not as scary as it seems. It's a beautiful new chapter of life. I'm so happy to be in it, but I do miss.
I'm a very
going
sentimental
back to school.
person. I struggled to graduate from high school. I struggled to graduate from college. I struggled to leave my childhood home. I struggle so much with like attached. I just like get so attached.
Yeah, and that's completely normal.
And that's okay. Just know that if you're like me and it feels like the end of the world, I know it sounds so silly.
Like a new chapter being
you're
like,
going to
oh
be okay.
Yeah.
And like, you really are going to be okay. Like, it does feel like the end of the world. Like, I remember I was like sobbing when I graduated high school, and like, my whole family was making fun of me, and they still make fun of me to this day. I'm like, I don't want to graduate. I don't want to grow up. But I think that was viewed as like really immature in a lot of ways, but it's not. It's just like how I'm. Yeah, and it's okay. I just want you to know if you feel like that you will be okay. And
100%.
I'm still alive. I'm still breathing, and I don't really look back and say like, oh my God, I still wish I was in high school right now. Like, you know, you move on and you start to appreciate the new things that come into your life. Or when we moved out of my childhood home, and my parents moved, and I was like sobbing. I was inconsolable because I'm just so sentimental for this house. And now I'm like, I don't even think about that house. You know what I mean? It just feels like, oh my God, everything's ending.
Like the end of the world.
This is the last time I'm going to touch this faucet.
Right,
This is the last time I'm going to be in my bedroom. Or like I don't know, I took my first steps in this room.
Right. And that's completely normal feeling.
And
So-
then it's like, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's really not a big deal, but yeah.
But yeah. So reflecting on everything we just talked about, it's going to be okay, right? Everything's going to work out.
It'll all
You're
get
gonna
done,
make it
no matter
through.
what.
It'll all get done. And yes,
You can do it. You can
do it. You're going to do it.
You will do it. You have to do it. There's just like no other way around it. You got to think about that. Think like that. Instead of thinking like, "Ooh, I could quit." Nope. There's no choice. You have no choice. You have to get through it. Just get through it. You'll be so glad you did.
The type of student you are doesn't define you as a person. You're going to make it through, and whatever calling is meant for you is going to...
And you'll find it. You're
It's
needed
gonna find
somewhere.
you.
I don't know where
Yes.
yet, and maybe you don't, but you're needed somewhere.
The job's going to work out. Everything will align. And there's also no rush to get a job as soon as you graduate either. Take some time off and then
Yeah,
get
my
into
husband's
it when you get
29,
into
and
it.
he just found out where he's needed.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, everyone's timing is different.
So many people go back to school. So many people change their minds. Like,
Yup.
it's all normal. Like, just, like, kind of embrace the process if things don't work out for you the first round, or if you have to go back to school, or if you want to get your master's or do something completely different, get a second degree. That's all normal.
Yup.
It's all normal.
Absolutely. Know when to say no and when to say yes. Don't strike a balance between the two.
Yeah. Don't overbook yourself.
Yeah.
But
It's okay to say no sometimes, but also not all the time. Put yourself out there. Don't let your fears get in the way, because then you don't want to have any regrets when you leave, because you only get to do this once and you only get to be this young once. Be present, be here, be in this moment. You're only
Yeah.
this young once,
I
and
love it.
you're going to be nostalgic for this
Yes.
in the future, like we
Take
are
it
right
all
now.
in. Take it all in. Yes.
And yeah,
Yes.
be
Happy
present.
back to school. And if you're like me and not going back to school, but happy fall and back to school time, it's still the time where everyone goes. It's like a big change for everyone. So just embrace
Yeah,
it.
happy
Embrace
fall,
the
happy
season.
pumpkin.
Happy fall, happy pumpkin. Next,
Happy pumpkin, happy
Huckleberry.
Chobani pumpkin coffee creamer, everybody.
that's all that matters is pumpkin. Happy pumpkin. Okay. Next week we're gonna be talking all things fall.
Oh my god.
So if you have any
So yes, if
If
you
you have
have
any suggestions or things you want to hear, we're going to talk fall fashion, fall trends, and just literally all things pumpkin.
Yes, anything you want to hear about or anything that you like that you're excited about for fall, share it with us and we will talk about it, and we're all going to romanticize fall together.
Yes.
Right, Huck? Yay!
Happy BTS. Have a good year, y'all.
Oh, he's trying to eat the
He's trying to eat the microphone.
Yeah.
Happy fall, y'all.
Happy fall, y'all. Later, home gals.
Later, home gals.
See you next week.